edit.
Colin, well, just outstanding job in this
Thank you.
film. You really, really did. And, you know, listen, we've all seen Jurassic Park. We grew up in that era and everything. But, you know, was there something about that movie when you first saw it as a, you know, younger guy? Did it kind of change your life? Or what was it that hit you about that film?
Yeah, you know, I saw Jurassic Park when I was a little older. I wasn't a child, I was 16.
Okay.
And so I was a little cynical and I thought I knew how everything worked, and I was thinking about girls, and I got a car, and these are all important moments in life too. But when that movie came out, it was the end of that year, it was the last day of school, which is a particular feeling that we all have that is very special. And my friend who worked at the movie theater near my house at the Grand Lake Theater, which was this big old movie palace in Oakland, California, and he called up, and he was the guy who made the popcorn, and he said, look, we're going to watch Jurassic Park at night, the night before. And so I snuck out of my house because I was grounded. I was grounded from seeing movies. That was the one thing you could take away from me that would be a loss. And so I rolled the car down the hill. I put it in neutral. We had stick shifts back then, and went down to the theater, and we got to sit alone, the two of us, and have this private screening of Jurassic Park. And the feeling that I remember having was that I was taken from being that cynical teenager and regressed backwards to the point where I felt like a kid again.
Yeah, it's amazing. And people will feel the same way about this. And, you know, here you are, handpicked by Mr. Steven Spielberg yourself. Yeah. What was your first thought going through? I'm like, how am I going to do this?
I felt like I knew how I was going to do it, and there's a childlike arrogance that all nerds have, and I am one of them. Where I think if you asked a nerd, if you asked someone who grew up, or a geek, whatever you want to call us, like whatever derogatory term you want to throw our way, people who grew up during that era and love the same kind of things that I love, if you ask them, you know, can you make a Jurassic Park movie? They'll say, well, I'll make you a Jurassic Park movie. Don't you worry about it. And so there was a little bit of that. And of course, you know, the process was challenging and all of the things that filmmaking is, but there always was that sense of, you know, I know this. I know how to do this. And I'm really proud of what we did.
Yeah, and choosing Chris Pratt in your lead. I mean, seriously, could you have gotten any better than him? No way.
No, at this point, no. And that wasn't the intention necessarily, to put a huge movie star in the movie, but it happened. I went out for a great cast of character actors, the best ones we have, and that's what all these movies did. And one of them happened to turn into a giant movie star after I'd shot the film, which I'm not going to complain about. That's not a bad thing. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of effect that has on the film, because it is very much an ensemble film, and he's part of a group of actors who all have their moment. And yet he grounds that ensemble in a way that only a really generous actor and movie star can do.
Was there any particular dinosaur or anything that really challenged you in this film and getting it? Because it just looks seamless to me.
Well, it was, you know, we try not to let you see us sweat, but you know, what was challenging was the story. I think once we had a script that I believed in and that worked, the rest of it, I won't say the rest of it was easy, but I knew we had it, you know, once we had a screenplay. And that period of time from when we started writing to when we had a script that we felt good about, that Steven said, yeah, that's a movie, that was definitely the most challenging creative period of my life, because directing for me is very natural and it comes easily. Writing is hard.
Did you get to ride in the gyrosphere? Have to know.
I did. I got to ride in it with my son, and because we could control it, we had like a remote control, and so my kid got to sit in there and push it forward and think that he was making it move forward and back in the station, and the guy would be back there moving it, but he didn't know, so don't tell him.
I won't. Next ride here at Universal Studios, for sure.
I have a feeling, yeah. I told them, like, you guys are going to have to spend a lot of money making these rides if this thing works.
Well, this movie is going to work big time. It's so fantastic.
Thank you.
Hats off to you, and best of luck with everything. Such
Thank
a
you so
pleasure
much.
to meet you. Thank you.